Alright people, so if you were wondering why I didn't get my Raw review up on Monday, it was because I had jury duty, yes. You know, so you're not supposed to tell anybody about it or whatever the fuck, because it could influence you. So I waited until I was done, which was today, and it's Wednesday now, so, you know, I got home on Monday. You know, I had to get up really early, and I was just really tired, so I didn't feel like watching the full show, because watching Raw drains me, and it's probably more boring than jury duty. So, and I was contemplating doing this video right now, even because the drivers in Detroit are just the shittiest drivers I've seen in my life. I mean, holy fuck. You know, I gotta be on my fucking, you know, tippy toes here driving. First off, like, we're in a 35 right now, and people are going like fucking 25, 30 miles an hour. I mean, some of the worst fucking drivers. Then I'm driving on this one-way 3-lane road, and I'm in the middle lane, and this motherfucker's in the right lane, and he has to get over because a car is parked there. Oh, and he just decides to pull right in front of me. Like, what the fuck? So luckily there was a lane to the left of me and nobody was in it, so I just pulled right over there. It's like, do you fucking look back when you go over? It's not like I was in your blind spot or anything. Like, some of the biggest dumb fucks must live here, and obviously they do. I mean, look at all the crime here, but yeah, this is really a toilet of a town. I mean, a lot of people say it's on the up and up, and it might be, but that's not saying much. I mean, there's no other way that. I mean, the city can't get much worse. I mean, when you declare bankruptcy and you got so much shit in the city, I mean, there's really only one way to go, and that's up. So I mean, just driving through Detroit, I mean, you gotta look out for bad drivers. And I mean, the houses and the people that live here is just so depressing. Like, looking down some of the side streets, I'll try to show it, but I mean, some of the worst fucking houses I've seen. I mean, it's just terrible. Empty lots, burned down houses. I mean, the amount of fucking fires that people have in houses. You know, the fire department doesn't even respond anymore to a lot of them. So yeah, I'm chronicalizing my journey here back home through Detroit. I don't like taking the freeway during rush hour, so I just decided to take this road here, and it doesn't go through the bad parts of Detroit, Jesus, but it goes through you know, some of the worse areas, I guess. See, that guy fucking scared me a little bit there. So yeah, I mean, and also too, I'm driving here. I think it's like early in the morning, like 7 o'clock in the morning, and then look at that guy fucking speeding. So it's early in the morning, and you know, this guy is, of course, you know, swerving in and out of his lanes, probably a drunk motherfucker, you know. And then you got that guy fucking going 10, 15 over, swerving in and out of traffic. Jeez. See, this is what I'm talking about. This guy's in the left fucking lane going 30 miles an hour in a 35. What the fuck? Look at all these people passing us right now. It's ridiculous. It's like, are they fucking drunk? Are they high? Are they afraid of getting pulled over by the cops? I don't know. Alright, he's picking it up a little bit. Yeah, but like on the way here, you know, there's a guy going like 30. And on the way back yesterday, there's a guy going fucking 25 miles an hour. It's like, fuck it. It's like for the first half mile of his acceleration, he's going 20 miles an hour. It's like, damn. Look at this guy. He's all over the fucking place. See, that's what I'm talking about, people. He's fucking like halfway in the left lane, halfway in the turn lane. Alright, he's turning good. Get the fuck out of my way. Jeez. But yeah, you gotta look out for bad drivers here. I mean, it's like 10 times worse than it is where I live. But yeah, you know, jury duty was alright, I guess. I mean, you make $25 for the first day, and then $40 after that, and also 10 cents a mile, so it was alright. The drive is like a half-hour drive, which isn't fun, but I mean, it's whatever. It made a decent amount of money. I mean, it probably lost a little bit from what I would have done working, but it's all good, you know. Oh, it was I'll tell you about the case. It was a sexual assault case. And, you know, I'm not going to get too into it, but, you know, he was convicted, sexual assault. You know, this fucking dumb fuck. You this is another thing we got to do with society. Yeah, sexual predators are the lowest form of human scum in the world, or one of the worst, whatever. But this girl, so she's at this Chinese restaurant after work. Fucking black girl, fucking 18 years old. And she said her plan was to get a cab ride home or take the bus. All right, safe way to get home for the most part. So then this fucking guy, this rapist, pulls up who's raped people before. She doesn't know it, obviously, but he pulls up and he asks her, do you want to ride? And she gets in the fucking car. What a dumb fuck. At fucking 11 o'clock, or I think it was like 10 o'clock on a set, 9:30 or 10 o'clock on a Sunday night. This guy who this girl has never met pulls up and asks, do you want to ride? And she gets in the motherfucking car. How dumb can you be? No, you're not legally responsible yourself if you're that dumb, but you're personally responsible for putting yourself in a situation like that. I mean, God, some people are just so dumb. Oh. Look at this guy. He's like in the fucking... He's almost in my fucking lane. He's turning. Get in the middle of the lane, you dumb fuck. God. I swear, everybody goes like half the speed limit. Swerving in and out of lanes. Jeez. So yeah, we all convicted her. I guess he stole her money too. And there was another charge too. Like, if he stole her money, then it would have been first degree. If he didn't steal her money, or if the kidnapping charges didn't apply, it would have been third degree sexual assault. But it's fucking crazy how dumb she was, and then how much of a pervert the actual guy was. So you really see some real lowlifes down there in the courthouse or whatever. But yeah, it's not only do you see lowlifes, who are actually up for trial. See that there's some of the houses. Just terrible fucking houses. You got some nice little stores and whatnot, but look at the fucking streets. It's almost like a war zone. Alright, so just a continuation there. My phone ran out of space, so I had to delete a few videos. But like I said, just terrible. Abandoned buildings all over the motherfucking place. It's just a fucking disaster, pretty much. The city, for the most part. There's been some decent little developments downtown, in the actual downtown, but the suburbs, like look at this fucking guy weaving, and look at this fucking, and there's a police car up there. That's really smart, you dumb fuck. But there's been some decent developments downtown, restaurants and shit, but the actual houses, it's just terrible still. Look at this guy. This guy's going fucking slow in the middle lane, and everybody goes so slow. And of course there was an accident on the way home. And like I said, there are some real dumb fucks there in the not only, like I said, on trial, but like the people you see in the court, on the juries. Like, of course, it's in the Detroit area, so you're gonna get a lot of lowlifes. But you got just white trash, a lot of wiggers, white trash. I'm sorry, but that's pretty much what they are. The white girls with tattoos and shit. And then I found with the black people, statistically proven they commit more crimes, murders and shit. That's just a fact. But this is just kind of a side observation. But black girls are either like skinny, or normal weight and like good looking, or they're like fucking 500 pounds. It's like, you don't really see too many. It's very rare you see a white girl that's 500 pounds. But I saw a ton of black people. One of them was in my fucking jury, on the jury with me. One of the 12 was a black girl who had to be fucking 400, 450. She's just a fucking monster. Ugly as fuck, too. They want to say, oh, fat girls are sexy. Oh, yeah, how fucking sexy is that? No, it's not sexy at all. It's fucking ugly. My eyes hurt more looking at her than they did at the fucking solar eclipse without any glasses. So let's not kid ourselves and make up the excuse that fat girls are, they're so sexy. No, the only reason a guy would say that is because he can't get any decent looking women, and he's trying to appeal to the fat girls because he's, you know, trying to fall back on them because he can't, you know, get any pussy from some, you know, decent looking girls. So they say, oh yeah, I love fat girls, or, you know, trying to get fat girls. And then you also probably got half of the, you know, all the fat girls saying that fat girls are sexy because they want to feel good about themselves, but in reality they have to lose weight because that's a health problem. I mean, you're not going to tell somebody on cocaine to, oh, you know, be accepting of yourself and don't try to change. No, I mean, it's terrible to be overweight, especially fucking 200, 300 pounds overweight. And then you see some of these ugly black girls, like I said, just uglier than dirt. I mean, some of the ugliest people I've seen, white and black girls, you know, and they have like fucking 5 children. Like, who the hell would procreate with that ugly piece of shit? Like, it's just like, if you're gonna fucking make bastard children, and you're gonna make children that aren't gonna have a father figure in their life because you made a fucking mistake and didn't fucking buy a condom that's $1, then at least have fucking sex with a good looking woman, or at least an alright looking woman. I mean, you figure if you're gonna make that mistake with you know, having unprotected sex, that dumb fucking mistake that so many people make in society, you know, oh, I'll just pull out, yeah. You'd at least have sex with a decent looking woman, you know. But you see so many women with so many children, and it's like, how can you make that same mistake like 5 fucking times too? Like, some people are just so dumb. It blows my mind. And of course, I'm bringing all this up because, where are we? Oh, I'm in Detroit. So of course you got the lowest people in society who live in Detroit. You know, low income. I'm not saying all of them are bad. I mean, some of them, a lot of them are good people, but a lot of them make stupid fucking mistakes. And a lot of them are, I'm just making observations, grossly overweight. Tattoos. Like, why the fuck would you get a visible tattoo? That's never gonna help you get a job. Or you know, people are gonna judge you by that. Not saying it's right or wrong, but I mean, tattoos are associated with like gangs and shit getting tattoos. So like, when I see somebody with a tattoo, not me maybe, but like a potential, like if you're applying for a job, see, now we're into the good area here. You know, we're out of the shit. We're out of the fucking toilet. We're into the fucking good area. Oh, look at this guy going slow. But you know, for somebody applying for a job, if if you see somebody with a fucking visible tattoo, chances are you're not going to get hired. You're going to have a lesser chance of getting hired. So why the fuck would you get a visible tattoo? It just, you know, for some jobs it doesn't matter, but if you want to get like a serious job, for most jobs, it's like, that shit fucking matters. You know, potential bosses are going to look at that. Potential employers are going to look at that shit. And then you see the fuckers with different, like, purple hair and green hair and yellow hair. And then, you know, I walk into Starbucks too, and it's like, you can't tell what Starbucks is like the liberal, you know, calling card. Every liberal, oh, I'm gonna go to Starbucks. You know, and then half the people at Starbucks, you can't tell if they're a fucking girl or boy. Or you got girls looking like boys, boys looking like girls. I mean, it's fucking just, it's just weird, you know, seeing people like that. See, this is all the shit I went through in 3 fucking days in Detroit, and I got more shit to talk about, you know, 3 days in the shitter of a town called Detroit than I do in my entire fucking life living at my, you know, where I live. And also, too, another thing, you know, I gotta worry, you know, I park on a fucking side street because, you know, they always tell us, oh, go park in the parking structure, pay $5 a day. Well, I don't want to pay $5 a day. I don't want to pay $15 for parking over the course of 3 days. So I go park on a side street. So I'm walking through, like, not a terrible area, but like an alright area. So I got to keep my head up though and worry about, you know, people, you know, just whatever. But you know, I'm 6'3". I'm a 19-year-old guy, so fuck. So I don't worry about that really too much. But you know, you do have to keep your head up, and you can't be looking all scared and like a pussy. You know, everybody's a pussy nowadays. Oh, I'm offended. Oh, you know, but yeah, you know, it went all right. A lot of dumb fucks though. Like I said, like one person on the jury talks like this and talks real slowly. Like fuck. It's like, And then another person, so they bring us into the room with like 30 people in the room. And then they pick 12 people out of those people to be on the jury, or I think it's 14. And then they ask the people, has anybody committed a felony? And the pre-screen process is supposed to screen for that, and people with a felony aren't supposed to serve in a jury. So one person raises their hand and she's like, yeah, I have. And the judge asks, what is it for? He's like, assault. Like, I assaulted my boyfriend with intent to do deadly harm or some shit like that. Says, well, look at this guy going fucking 30 miles an hour. Fuck me. Oh, see, I almost missed that light because of this fucking motherfucker. Jesus. And you know, most people go the normal speed where I live, 35, 40, but so many people just go 30 miles an hour and piss me the fuck off. At least go 35. Jeez. But yeah, it was quite an experience down there in Detroit. And I try to talk to nobody because I don't like to talk to people. I see everybody in my jury talking to creating conversation. I don't want to talk to anybody. Just let me fucking sit there with my piece. So I try to look like I'm fucking pissed off and try to get nobody to talk to me. But this guy from talked to me here. One guy talked to me pretty much. Everybody else is conversing amongst each other. I tend not to do that shit. You're a stranger. We're not going to see each other ever again in our lives after this trial's up. So I'm not a big converser with strangers. I got to tell you that. I'd rather just sit there by myself, or like one of the times, they give us lunch, and I'm just like, hey, I'm just gonna fucking walk up and down the steps and get some exercise, in as opposed to sitting next to people, because it makes me feel uncomfortable when I'm around strangers. Like, am I supposed to talk to them? Am I supposed to just sit there in awkward silence? I just like being by myself a lot of the times, and I find people annoying a lot. Probing into my life. Oh, where do you go to school? What do you do for work? Why do you fucking care? I don't want to fucking tell you. It's like to be by my. Oh, there's a beautiful lake. I did a video a week or two ago about that fucking solar eclipse goddamn bullshit. I come out on the lake here to try to see it. What's this all about? It's gonna get a little dark, right? It's gonna look decently cool. No, nothing. That was another disappointment too. So I'm almost home here. I'm about 10 minutes away from home, so I think I'm gonna be done with this. But I'll post this to YouTube and whatever. But just a lot of weird people, a lot of lowlifes, a lot of fat fucks, a lot of losers in life down there in Detroit. But what do you expect? It's Detroit. It's a shit town. People want to be optimistic too and say, oh, Detroit's on the up and up, guys. But you can't even drive down the motherfucking side streets because there's so many fucking criminals and gangsters in there. So it's got a long way to go, people. The city's been going down the shitter for a long time now, and I'll probably never see it, return to its prominence in my lifetime. But it's sad that you drive through one of the most popular cities in the United States, and you gotta keep your head up, because you gotta worry about people like robbing you and shit. So all right, I'm gonna sign off now, or get off here. So I hope you enjoyed my conversation about my jury duty. But there you go, people.